Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a level 20 Santa Claus build in Baldur's Gate 3. For the Christmas holidays, I thought this would be a pretty fun one to cover. Now, there's not many guy-related Christmas mods. There's this awesome Christmas dress, so I'll be playing it as a girl character, but you can make this obviously look like Santa Claus. I just want to use this. There's also a really cool mod for the cleric that can give them the Santa Claus deity choice. So that's another cool mod. I just did a video talking about different Christmas mods in Baldur's Gate 3. There's only really stuff for girls, so that's why we went with this dress here, but I'll be showing off this build all the way up to level 20, and if you want to stop at level 10 or level 12. Now for this, we're going to start as a sorcerer. The reason being is we can go with the draconic bloodline, and we can focus on being a cold sorcerer, because obviously the North Pole is cold. So for our cantrips, I'd recommend also having Mistress Spell. I really like the Ray of Frost and Frostbite, just make a whole lot of sense here. We can also go with the Booming Blade, and maybe something else like a create bonfire to keep warm on a cold winter's night, and then Lightning Lure to help set up the electronics that you get for Christmas. Now for our spells that we'll get here, I think Shield and Magic Missile just work really well, but also having Frost Fingers from Mistress Spells works really well. Draconic Sorcerer makes us pretty buff, and we're going to go with a cold Draconic Sorcerer. So going with this one gives us Armor of Agathis, which is great, and you can take a Draconic Bloodline if you want, but I'll just leave it looking like this. Now, Santa Claus is not just charismatic, he's also quite intelligent. He knows if you've been nice or naughty. So we're actually going to build around intelligence and charisma for this. So we're going to take charisma and intelligence to 16. We're going to have 14 dexterity, but you can go a little bit higher here. And then somewhere's around that. We can go with dexterity at an odd number if you really wanted to, or we can take wisdom up to 12, somewhere around there. We're going to use Constitution Amulet so we can dump Constitution and go with that there. So level 20 build, obviously it's going to be pretty strong, but not broken. I also got this cool snowball staff that fits the theming perfectly for this, but you can see there we got some cool festive outfits on. Sorcerer level 2, we're going to take ourselves Frost Fingers, just makes sense. And we're going to go with our Distance Spell and Twin Spell. Twinned Haste is one of the best things in this game, and Distance Spell is nice if you can't hit someone with Magic Missile. Now for our next level spell, we get some more cold spells, so this is obviously going to be focused on being cold damage. So Ice Knife can be cast while we're silenced, but we do get some awesome ones like Misty Step. This is just theming perfectly. Santa Claus can teleport around, I believe. That's how he's able to get to all the houses in time. Quicken Spell gives us a spell as a bonus action. It's pretty cool. At level 4 here, we get ourselves another cantrip, and we can go with like a Gust of Wind to guide our sleigh tonight. And for our next leveled spell, Hold Person is great. It looks like a little gift with a person inside, so we'll go with that. Normally I would take Scorching Ray, but just doesn't fit the theming here, so trying to keep this somewhat themed but also strong at the same time. And we'll take our charisma up to 18. Just makes sense. At level 5 here, we get ourselves another selection of a spell, and you know, haste just makes sense. How does he get to those houses so quickly? It's because he upcasted haste on himself. That's how Santa does it. At level 6, we get ourselves the Elemental Affinity, giving us an extra charisma modifier added to our damage on cold spells, and then resistance as well. And for this next leveled spell, I would like to take a... I have an issue with one of my mods becoming a Chain Lightning at level 6. I created my own mod and created some issues there, but we're going to go with Sinolix Snowball Storm. Cold damage. It just makes sense. We're working our way up to that Cone of Cold, so we'll take that there. And at level 7, we can take another spell. We could go with like a Lightning Bolt, but we also get Ice Storm. This just makes sense. Santa Claus dropping that Ice Storm. And level 8, we get ourselves another level 4 spell. We can take Lightning Bolt at this time, or if you have Mistress Spells, you can take one of the previous ones, or even an Ice Knife. And for our feat ability score to max out our charisma, Santa's got that high riz. And at level 9, we're going to get ourselves a Cone of Cold. This is the best damage spell that we're going to get. And it gets really strong, so we'll take that there. We can also get some very fun spells a bit later on, which I'll show off as we add in the Wizard. And we'll get Bone Chill. It's chill, you know, Santa's chill, nice guy. And we'll take Hold Monster, because Hold Monster really, really is strong. And we'll take Empowered Spell if you have the Empowered Spell, or otherwise Subtle Spell to cast while silenced. Empowered Spell will make you roll your damage die twice on spells, which is really nice. And we get Fly here. Rudolph, guide my sleigh tonight. We're going to be flying through the sky so high. And then for our final spell here, Chain Lightning doesn't really make sense for Santa, but we'll just think he's Santa's delivering a lot of electronics this year, and Chain Lightning is just using the energy from all the Switches and PlayStation 5s as he's been giving out. You can go to level 12, but we can also go in and add in the Wizard, because Santa is incredibly intelligent. So we're also going to take some more spells here. Mage Hand is a nice little helper to Santa's elf, and Minor Illusion to create illusions for the children that are up at night. And then for our final spell here, we can go with like Pull the Dead, I guess, or Sword Burst, Thunderclap. It's your choice here. Nothing really too desperate to take here. And then we get some more spells. We already have a lot. Absorb elements to absorb any type of spells that come our way. We'll take Chromatic Orb because we can make it cold damage. Thunder Wave for the pushback. We already have shields, so we don't have to take that. Find Familiars, so we can have a little helper. Grease, you know, it's just not a bad spell to have. And then for a final one, we can go with Long Strider, because again, how does Santa move so quick? It's a mystery to me. How does he get to all those houses? I don't know. Level 2 here, we get to choose our subclass, and I think that there's a couple of good choices, but I'm going to go with Evocation here, because this just makes it so that we protect our allies. You can go Divination and use the dice. That's fun too, but we're also going to take probably Enhanced Leap to jump through the skies, and Fog Cloud to hide our Christmas cheer. Again, the Wizard only can prepare so many spells at a time, so we don't have to take all of them. But now we get ourselves some higher level spells, and we'll take Ice Knife here finally. And I guess for the second spell, we can also go with Shatter. We can go with Moonblade, which is a chilling short sword. We also can take Knock or Invisibility because he stays hidden from the children on Christmas Eve. And we'll go with our Ice Knife there. For our next level spell, level 15, level 4 Wizard, we get another cantrip. So obviously we got a lot of these. We'll take Booming Blade, I guess, just for the fun of it. And then for our next level 2 spells, Darkness, because he comes at nighttime. And then a Gust of Wind, because again, it guides our sleigh, pushes it along. We'll take our intelligence up to 18 here. And then at level 5 Wizard, we get to choose a couple more spells, and we got a lot of choice here. So I love Tidal Wave. This is really strong, and you're going to see why we're taking Tidal Wave. But we're going to go with that one there. And then for our next leveled spell, we got pretty much all the cold damage spells, so we can take Sleet Storm. Sleet Storm's not going to be one we use often, but it's just there. So equip Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave's actually going to be very strong because it sets up water to double the damage of our cold spells. Potent Cantrip. Our cantrips become more difficult to evade. And we can take Counterspell, and we'll take Glyph of Warding, because that can be a cold spell as well. So we'll take Glyph of Warding and Counterspell. My game is currently bugged where my reactions don't work, so that's lovely. Level 7, we get ourselves a couple more spells. We already have ourselves Ice Storm, but you can see some cool things like Control Water and Summon Elemental. So we do got some fun ones. Healing Elixir. So we'll take our Summon Elemental, and then you can summon Greater Demon there. Storm Sphere. Santa controls the weather. We can also, there's a lot of good choices here. It's really up to you. We can go Greater Invisibility because Santa stays invisible so no one sees his true identity. And we can take the Summon Elemental here. It's just a nice spell to have, level 4. At level 8 here, Wizard, we get a couple more spells, and we got a lot of choice. Confusion can be nice because if he catches anyone, if anyone catches Santa while he's delivering his presents, he casts Confusion so that people forget that they saw him, kind of like Men in Black. And Control Water, which just makes sense for here. So you can also go with anything else like Fear if you want. It's not really a Santa friendly, but we're going to take our intelligence up to 20, so we got good casting on both of our spells. And then once we get to level 9, this is our final level, we can take another level 5 spell. We already got ourselves the Cone of Cold, so we're going to take our minor and major elementals here just because they are so useful. And then we're going to take 4 spells. We'll take both the minor and major elementals. So there we go. That is what we got for our build. Now, how to make this very festive and bright, we're going to take out, so first things first, we're going to take the Staff of Spell Power, and we can use this free cast, and we're going to cast ourselves and summon in a friendly neighborhood water elemental. So the water elemental, for some reason that one's not appearing, Water Myrmidon. So yeah, the Water Myrmidon, my bad. We're going to take this guy in because he can create water for us. So we want all these create water friends that we can bring in as many as possible. Next, we got ourselves Marka. We're going to take Marka-Heshker out. You can use Marka-Heshker, or there's 2 weapons that really work well for this build. There's one that you get very start of the game with Morning Frost. It deals additional cold damage. And then we also have ourselves Marka-Heshker, which can be really useful because with Marka-Heshker, you can use the free cast on it, and it can also power up our cold spells, which I'll show you. I do have this change out of this awesome Ziva Holiday Dress. So this mod was made by Apzurv on mod Nexus mod, so you can download this mod if you want to give yourself this nice festive appearance. But we're gonna go with something a little bit more powerful for us. So we can go with the Wave Mother's robe to give ourselves the Create Water level 4 spell and resistance to cold damage. But we can also, there's two other great choices. So depending on how tanky you want to be, we can also go with the Robe of the Weave, which I've also dyed red and white here. This will give us an increase our spell save DC. Or we can go with the Haldusk armor, which I also have dyed red and white, which gives 28 armor class. This is going to be the strongest version of this. And this also gives us resistance to fire damage. For our helmet, I'm going to go with the Hood of the Weave for increasing spell save DC. And Cloak of Protection, Boots of Protection, and Ring of Protection, all for that extra. Killer Sweetheart's nice, but Ring of Regeneration to heal yourself, or even the Crypt Lord Ring for the Create Undead is really nice. Amulet of Greater Health, we got that 28 armor class. And then with the shield, Marka Heshker, we got some pretty buff abilities. So I want to show you how to make the most of this. So we're just going to summon in also our ice methods, which is not prepared for whatever reason. Some weird bugs happening, so I guess we can't bring that jolly fellow in. But what we're going to do is we're going to get into a combat encounter and show you how to play as Santa Claus. So I'll just get right into a big fight right off the start so we can get ourselves. I want to use Gale to apply haste to ourselves because that just gives us the most amount of damage, and we don't want to have ourselves concentrate. Typically we'd concentrate on a twinned haste for 2 people, but I just want to show this off solo, so I'm just going to haste myself here just to make things easy. So we're going to get into a fight here. We'll just go into turn-based mode. Now some of our best ways to start is like dropping down like a tidal wave to create water. So with this, we're going to drop it and it will create water, which will do create double damage for our cold spells. So boom, we hit them with the rain, and then we'll get into a fight. So you can see there a bunch of them. Oh, we didn't even roll the highest initiative. That was unfortunate. So what we want to do is we set up our water here, and we're just going to get attacked. I can block that. Nice double block. Our water Myrmidon's getting blasted here, but we rolled good initiative. Our water Myrmidon works alongside us. So this is our little Santa's elf. The water Myrmidon is great because it can make everyone weak to our cold damage. So you can see there he's wet for 3 turns, and with that we're going to blast out a Cone of Cold. So Cone of Cold is an interesting spell because you can line it up to hit multiple targets. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm just trying to get into an optimal position. Nice, we can hit 4 people here, and as a bonus we're going to make a big ice surface. So drop this down, big ice, and it makes a bunch of people slip and fall. So that's huge. And we use up both of our actions, but we can also Misty Step our way around if we want to, or we can use our fly ability. Misty Step being pretty fun, so you can use that to get out of any rough situations. I'm just going to end the turn off here. You could also use a hand crossbow to give yourself a little bit extra, but we can also go and attack some of these. He still has the wet applied to him, so we can blast there, and then he does not have the wet, so we don't care too much about him. You can't use this 2 turns in a row, but we can go with the High Maul Strike there, and we can attack there, do a little bit of cold damage, and then that still has them wet there, so we'll just end our turn. Or we can use Elemental Warp, which is nice, is they're going to keep using volleys if we're standing near each other, so we can distract them by putting attacks at 2 different spots. So they are going to jump on the ice, which is, that ended up working out fine. They tried to trip attacks, they can't hit us. Santa Claus is untouchable. So yeah, with this we want to continually cast cold spells. Obviously that's the point of this build. I didn't even use Marka Heshker, but we can also power ourselves up with cold damage by using Kareska's Favor. So that's another option that we got. So it's our turn again, and our elemental has a huge range on its water heal. These targets haven't been hit yet, so this is the perfect time. So I know these targets don't have water spells, so I can actually heal myself with this too. So yes, this does heal, but this has a very beneficial effect of creating water around the targets. In addition to this, we also have them now with the wet status for 1 turn, which we can use a Cone of Cold so that we can further blast them and hopefully take out 3 of them here. So Santa is all about that Cone of Cold. We took out 3 with 1 turn. That's perfect. And then as a nice follow-up, we can hit down. Ice Storm has a huge radius. It doesn't deal full cold damage. We also got ourselves a Chain Lightning. I don't think this will chain to them, but Chain Lightning is very strong. If you got us, yeah, it did. Perfect. It went all the way through. Perfect. So that was good. That was a good turn. Also, if you got the wizard, you can learn Odaluk's Freezing Sphere, which is another really great cold spell. They are so screwed right now with the amount of ice that's on the ground. Santa Claus loves this. He's just gonna walk. He's saved on the ice and volley. All right, that was the first time I took damage. We have 200 health. So it's pretty good. We're very strong. And then I guess for our next spell, I guess we can drop that. We'll have to move a little bit, but boom, 7 targets hit with the ice storm. That took out a good number of them. There's 1 left. And with that, I guess we could... Can't hit him with that. Chain lightning. I'd have to move all the way up. We can also go with our extended distance spell. So with distance spell, it makes it so that we can cast really far away with Sinalux Snowball Storm. So we can blast there, and that didn't really do a whole lot of damage, but that's fine. We'll get our Myrmidon to run up there, and he'll run through. He's immune to prone, which is perfect. And then we'll just teleport right to the target and go ahead with an ice spell. So boom, we'll hit this 3 times there and hopefully take them out with that. Oh, we missed 2 of them. That's fine. They're probably just going to attack us. Crusader's Mantle. What an interesting choice. We can go with our distance spell, upcast magic missile, and blast him. If we can apply freezing to a target, we can double the damage of our magic missile, so that's really fun. But we also got ourselves ice knife, so we'll go with one of those. I just ran on the ice. That was my mistake. Time ball strike. We'll finish her off. Nope, we won't. And I slipped on the ice that is now water. Broke their concentration on Crusader's Mantle, and they broke. Oh my god, that was one of the turns of all time, I guess. We still have our haste concentration because Gale set it up. I'm mind broken because I forgot about the I forgot about the Emperor there, or the Nether Brain. So we'll finish things off with our water elemental and command. Command is where a lot of my runs end, so I'm glad that that didn't happen this time. Critical block. That was the worst luck, and there's gonna blast us with that. But we can end things off with a tidal wave or a cold spell, you name it. I think for the fun of this, we'll just hit him with a chain lightning and end it all there. 48 damage, so that would have been double the create water. So there it is. There's a Santa Claus build in Baldur's Gate 3. I will put this outfit back on because this just fits perfectly for us. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and your family. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.